On What's My Scene, Star Scene today, we have Peter Black, Blackie, the Hard-Ons, of course, and now, solo. The two brilliant albums last year, and finally we get to see the launch of them in Melbourne. Can't wait. Yeah. So what do we have to look forward to expect at your gig?
Just me sitting on a stool, sweating my ass off with an acoustic guitar and seeing if the latest batch of singing lessons that I've participated in have paid off. All those things in that order. Plus there's obviously many, many songs off my new records, bunch of songs off my song a day, and all your old favorites.
Fantastic. Because, we've got two albums. If this is the hand I'm dealt, number one. Number two, I'm going to cheat as much as I can. I just love the names of these albums and how well they go together. So I've got that, and a song a day. I mean, we spoke about it last time, but just in case, viewers haven't seen that interview, can you just run through it again? Because what an amazing feat.
That was an intense year. And look, I never stopped being intense, but I did sort of work out a way of making it work. And like I needed an awesome bunch of people to work with me, like Joel, drummer that I've drummed with for nearly 20 years. He was beyond valuable. Jay, poor suffering Jay, like in an interview, Jay said, what I'm doing with Blackie is one of the best things I'm ever going to do. And it's also one that's absolutely ruining my life. And Chris in Tassie, who did all the mixing, like just, and there were nights where we'd be like, I need this song by tomorrow, I don't have anything, like real coattails or whatever you want to call it, by the skin of our teeth type of stuff. And also another buddy of mine, Mike, who helped me with because I don't know anything, like I don't even know how to do this Zoom thing. Am I on there? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Who knows what I'm doing? But yeah, I had another buddy, Mike, who actually lives in Paris now, but he's a expat, and he helped me with all the tech stuff. So, having that team helped me, but I sort of had a way where I would do the writing for 3 days, send all the demos off to Joel, go in the studio with Joel for 1 day, try to bash out the drums in one big session. And it was like, you can't go home until they're all finished. And then for the rest of the days, I'd be filling them up, doing all the guitar, bass, vocals, and whatever else, I decided to put in there. And then sending them off to Chris, and he would mix them as we went along. So it was like churning out a factory, but it was intense, but it was fun to do. It was intense, but it was decadent. Me and Joel would just look at each other sometimes and go, how joyous is this? This is just so much fun.
Yeah.
So I just love doing this shit. So
yeah. And it's funny that you told me that it was so that, to mark your 50th. I don't think many people who are 20 would be able to accomplish that.
Now, look, when I was 20, I was probably really immature and couldn't even think of something like that. So, when you get older, you want to hope that you get a little, I don't know. Where are we going with this?
I don't know if it's wiser. I don't know if it's wiser, Blackie, but it certainly is spectacular. How do you choose which one of those 365 days, or was it 300 and how many days? 65 or 66?
No, it was a leap year. That was 366, because I wanted to do it. If anyone wanted to match me, they'd have to wait another 4 years.
You're not competitive at all, are you?
At all. No, that was just an in-joke.
It was well planned. Yeah. And how do you choose what you're going to play in your set list?
That's slightly easier, because I'll tell you, when I play solo, I really want to present the best that I can. Like I want to really, you know, I want people to hear the material in the best way that they can. So not everything that I record is awesome in that format or works in that format. So that's one thing, you know, like I don't like it when I see a solo guy myself and I think, look, I really dig this, but this is obviously a band song that really needs a band with it. And it's kind of not working like this for me. But many songs can, like, you know, you can give a song enough passion and, you know, oomph, and it, you know, just sounds killer anyway. Like I remember I played once with Grant Hart and he played a ton of, not only his solo stuff, but he played a ton of Husker Du stuff. And man, I was covered in goose pimples. It was incredible.
Yeah.
You know, even songs like Pink Turns Into Blue, which is, you know, very melodic, but super noisy. Like, you know, the guitars are really abrasive, yet he was, you know, yeah, it was shit hot. So, you know, I'm careful with that. Like I want to make sure that I can come across, you know, okay. And then, you know, I am restricted in, you know, my acoustic playing isn't brilliant. So I've got to find what I can perform well. And then the other thing, I also got to find what I can sing well. So I sort of, you know, there are songs that I really want to play and maybe I'm not there yet with them. So it's actually not that hard to choose at all. It's ones that I can, you know, give it the best shot. Because, you know, I'd hate, you know, to do this and have someone, you know, in front of me, you could visibly see him switching off. It's like, oh no, that didn't work. So, you
Yeah.
know, not that I think you should put on a show, but, you know, you should put on a show.
Yeah. Excellent. I can't wait to see it coming up.
I like to do it. I'm getting excited talking about it.
And it's not only the show that you've got coming up, you've got so much more in the works. You've got a documentary, you've got the Nunchucker Superfly new releases. Tell us a little bit about those two.
Man, the Nunchucker album was recorded quite a while ago, and we've, like everyone else in the world, had to wait because of lockdown. So the pressing plant was shut. Then there was a little bit of work to do on the artwork. But man, that was killer. Like I always wanted to do a double album, and we had a ton of songs because it was quite a while between records. And it is like that story that Ray put up on Facebook. I did go into rehearsal room and I go, I don't care what you guys say, we're doing a fucking double album. I want to do a double album. And it took a lot of convincing. But once we started putting the songs together, the guys started to get really excited. And the only way we could afford to do it was we went into a really good studio to put it down. So the initial sounds were killer. And we went to mix it. I told the mixer, and mate, bless him, Lachlan Mitchell, he's awesome. He did like we worked with him heaps. I told him, I go, mate, we don't have bucks. Everything here has to be a rough mix. And he goes, mate, you serious? It's going to sound shit. And I go, we're going to have to make it work. And he did. You know, we sort of like gave ourselves 20 minutes or half an hour on each song. Like, you know, just basically, I think we're just lucky that he recorded it so well that the drums already sounded huge. The guitars were already fat, you know, the bass was already big. So, you know, it didn't take that much. And I think it really suited the loose and rawness of it. So that worked really well. The doco, again, that's a real long story that I'm not going to get into, but we're excited. It's finally happening.
Yeah.
You know, we've had people offer to make docos for nearly 20 years now, and it just got to a point where whatever, yeah, go ahead, yeah, you know. But as you can see by the shorts, the guy doing it, Jonathan, who did the phenomenal Radio Birdman documentary, he's doing it. So, you know, if you've seen that and are waiting for Van Duren, you know you're going, you know, well,
Yeah.
I can't say, you know, you're going to get a great film because it sounds egotistical, but with Jonathan, I feel like we're in really good hands.
Well, I'm glad that finally you've said yes to one, because I think everyone should, if they haven't already, know about the Hard-Ons.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Definitely. Let's teach this younger generation something.
Yeah, that as well. We are old, don't forget.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
50, let's do the maths. I obviously like Lost in Space. God, when did that come out?
Yeah.
I went to one of those nerd conventions. I mean, I go to them all the time because I am a nerd. And Penny was there signing
No.
photographs. I was shaking, brought a photograph, went to get it, signed by her. And it was my turn. I didn't know what to say. I whacked down the photo and she goes, "Who should I make it out to?" And I go, "Oh, Blackie." So she's signing it for me. And I had to say something. And I went, "You're my first ever crush." Like whenever I get shy, my voice goes up in pitch. So this beautiful woman looks up at me and goes, "So did you grow up liking blondes?" And I'm like, "Oh, I like all sorts of women." And I just grabbed the photo and left. I was so shy.
That's quite a interesting thing for her to say. I like it.
I know. She's obviously, she must have copped that a lot.
With the documentary, of course, we can donate to it.
I still find it, I think Australia is really weird with art still. A bunch of things that are like artistically really important and really viable. Just going back to the Radio Birdman documentary, which again, had to be funded, and then did really well, like not just here, but, internationally as well. Like, it's been shown at film festivals and things like that. Yet, like the ABC, which hasn't shown it, which I don't get it. It's like, well, this is like the Australian channel, dedicated to Australian stories, really. And I don't know why and like, it's not like Radio Birdman are a small band or anything like that. They're internationally recognized, historically important, phenomenal story, not just a band, the story as well. And I'm flabbergasted. And look, it's the same with this. He goes, "Look, it's going to take ages to make because there won't be funding, but we'll get it made. I did it with Birdman, we can do it with this." And the Hard-Ons and Nunchuck and my solo stuff, it's the same. It's like, I don't have anyone funding me. I save up and it's like, okay, I got bucks, I can go back into the studio. It's and then hopefully people buy my records so I could.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks again for talking to me. Really cool.